Despite being a huge scaredy cat, I'm a big fan of horror titles. Most of the time, the scariest element about these games is the atmosphere. And you know what atmosphere gives us? That's right, narrative potential. And this is why I end up liking many horror adventure titles such as Misao, Eve, and The Last Door. This is why when I saw Return One Way Trip by Red Ego Games, I was immediately intrigued as it checked all the right boxes. Luckily for me, I was able to play through the demo to see how it holds up. Return One Way Trip stars Kanae, one of 5 college friends who have decided to go camping together to celebrate their graduation. After all, it's going to be a lot harder to stay in touch after this. Moments into their trip, a verbal confrontation breaks out, and Kanae notices her friends have vanished, leaving her with the only choice being to look for them. Kanae stumbles around the surrounding forest area and finds a mysterious train abandoned and ruined that she doesn't remember seeing before. While any sane person would look at this and know, I'm gonna walk into a horror movie. Our Kanae is a bit different, and it's all about the one-way trip to some serious regrets. At least you'll look good doing it, because that visual style with the detailed sprites is impeccable, and animated CGs here are stellar. Aboard the train, you'll hunt down Kanae's friends and solve simple puzzles. To solve these puzzles, you'll have to select an item you want to use whilst standing next to your point of interest. They're simple. Please do not overthink them like I did and spend an hour working out that paint thinner is used on, drumroll please, paint. Most importantly, they're really good at setting the mood using mysterious poems and drawings scattered around the area. Still, you don't have to go out of your way to be acquiring any extra lore, as the demo is quite linear, making the puzzles more interesting as the reward to solving them progresses the narrative. The best thing about Return One Way Trip turns out to be the story segments that take place every time you put a few items together, as they set up potential plot points. Aside from just rescuing your friends, we've got a mysterious girl who shows up in your dreams and I assume draws these cute pictures you find. You see, Kanae sometimes astral projects into the past when the train was still operational and brings items back with her, and she also experiences whatever the passengers were going through at the same time. The mysteries surrounding this train fuel the adventure, but that's not even getting into questioning what our lead's friends are doing and how they connect to the train. After all, you can't rescue your friends if you can't find them. Oh yeah, and there are monsters too. I wouldn't worry about it if you scare easily though. This title is much more about atmosphere than any jump scares. However, my main joking complaint is that the demo is too damn short. I was totally hooked on the story concepts and wanted to find out what the deal was with everything, so I was very disappointed when it was over because I wanted more. In terms of legitimate complaints though, and there are a few parts where like the scripts are slightly broken and an entire conversation is said from one person without changing the text box name and portrait, but I'm sure that's all going to be cleaned up for release. Also, you can't change the aspect ratio, which kills my small laptop screen for size, but that's not a big deal either. Return One Way Trip is a title with a very intriguing premise, with some opening chapters that will leave you wanting more. With such a compelling setup, this game has set some exceptionally high expectations, and I am far more excited about it than I probably should be. Thank you guys so much for watching. Noisy Pixels, a group dedicated to bringing you guys the best news, reviews, previews, and more. Please stick around and subscribe. Ring the little bell to stay up to date of future content, and remember to read the review on the site. It's probably the same. Or you could be watching this review through the site. Ooh, beating me to it.